All right, Susquehanna fans, you're watching the Riverhawk Perspective. I'm your host, Anthony Heller, and joining me today is Susquehanna men's lacrosse second highest ever single-season point scorer in Chris Ciccarello. Chris, welcome to the Riverhawk Perspective.
Thank you, Anthony, for having me. Happy to be here.
Chris, you racked up 101 points in your first two seasons at Susquehanna. How would you describe your style of play that allows you to be one of the most prolific attackers in the Landmark Conference?
Yeah, first I got to give a shout out to my teammates. I got so many great players around me. I know Kieran Thomas, Jack Gaylord, Brandon Lawrence, all three of those guys are such special players. So they do a really good job opening up a lot for me. I describe myself as a tall, lanky lefty attackman that can shoot. That can shoot with both hands. I'd say I'm a pretty solid dodger, and I've got a good IQ to make good looks and make good feeds.
Yeah, so for being an attackman, how does being tall help you out?
Yeah, it definitely helps, especially when you're going against shorter defensemen. It's really easy to shoot over them and shoot around them, so having that extra size to you. Also, it's really helped when it comes to riding when you're playing defense. You have a longer reach, so you can make checks easier and make different kinds of plays. So yeah, it's definitely something I try to use to my strengths.
All right, 48 points, 29 assists in 2023 for 77 points. That was the second highest total on the Landmark that season, up from 24 points in 2022. What was the biggest adjustment you made to have such a breakout season?
Yeah, honestly, I just took that off season very seriously, whether it was really taking it seriously in the weight room and trying to do as much wall ball as possible. I tried to really just work as hard as I possibly could. I know me and Aiden Kennedy, we also went to these training sessions over the summer against some Division I and really good Division III players, which really enhanced our games out a lot. So I think it was all just on how hard we worked and how much we learned from that first season playing against such great competition that the Landmark offers.
Yeah, and how do you balance playing across the varsity level, maintaining your studies in the Sigmund School of Business?
Yeah, so I think we have a great business school here. I've really learned so much here, and I think it's really important that you really have good time management skills. I try to write down all my deliverables at the beginning of each week, and as I do every little deliverable, whether it's studying for this exam, I'll check it off, and just constantly staying organized and on top of everything is extremely important with maintaining that balance of being a student athlete. So it's definitely very important to have good time management skills.
Yeah, obviously last year must have been a hard year for you, and although your team had some success, you missed the entire campaign through injury. What do you do to stay positive, keep your mental health in a good position during your recovery?
Yeah, I think it's really important about the stories you tell yourself. Sometimes it's really tough when you're really excited to play, and I was very close with that senior class last year, and there was nothing more I wanted to do than play for those guys. But it's really important that you remain positive and you keep telling yourself you're going to get through this. And I have such a great supporting cast with me. My teammates, they were so great, and they really kept me in great spirits throughout the whole process. So as much as it was tough not being able to play, it's really just important to remain positive and do things that make you happy. I know I did a lot of wall ball during that time because I feel like wall ball is a really good way to alleviate stress, and it also helps out your game. So just staying positive and really having good teammates really helped me out.
Yeah, and what would your number one piece of advice be for young athletes in similar circumstances, having suffered that long-term injury and going through all that recovery? They're missing being out on the field. Yeah,
it's just always remember that the goal that's in front of you. There's nothing more I want to win than a Landmark Conference championship. So while I was maintaining an internship over the summer and also coaching lacrosse, it was a pretty busy summer. So I had to do physical therapy at 7 o'clock in the morning before work, and it was at times you really just got to remember the purpose behind everything, and it's really important just to, as I said earlier, just to be positive and just constantly push yourself and work throughout all the different whatever's going on. Just work through it and keep doing your thing.
Yeah, and in 2023, you led a group of now 6 seniors that are seniors now, that is, in scoring. What does having such a group come in alongside you do for your morale and for your confidence?
Yeah, as I said before, we got so many talented guys on the roster. I think our defense is phenomenal. Having those guys constantly getting us extra possessions because they're making great plays on the defensive end, and of course our offense. I mean, been playing together for 4 years, and we've grown together and really built up some great chemistry together. So it's such a pleasure being a part of this team and playing with everyone. I mean, I'm really excited for this season. I think we got some really talented freshmen and transfers. So it's just such a blessing being able to play with these guys and strap it up and go to battle with them every day.
Yeah, that 2021 recruiting class contained 2024 All-American Brendan Lawrence. It also contained all conference selections: Jack Gaylord, Marshall Wojcicki, Aiden Kennedy, and Kieran Thomas.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even account for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What is there that can be accomplished by this group this season?
Yeah, I think we have very high aspirations for this season. I mean, we were very experienced. I know coming in our freshman year, a lot of us started for the most part, and it was a huge adjustment at first, but it was so important. It really taught us so much. So it's really important that we just continue to do our thing, have a very strong fall ball, show up every day, push each other to get better. Iron sharpens iron, defense pushing the offense pushing the defense. So we could just do it. We can constantly improve and get better. I mean, we're so excited for this spring. I think we really have a great group of guys, and just up to us to give it everything we have and perform every single day.
Yeah. So, do you have any personal goals for this season? And if so, what are they?
Yeah, I just want to win. I mean, the main goal I have right now is just winning. I want to win a landmark championship. I mean, I feel like champions triumph any individual accolade you could get. So I just all I'm focused on is winning that landmark championship and being on that podium in the spring.
Yeah, you were also a standout hockey player in high school. What experience outside of lacrosse do you have? Not limited to hockey.
Yeah, so I mean, I was a hockey player my whole life. That was my main sport growing up. I mean, I played junior hockey my senior year of high school, and that was a great experience. I mean, we won the EHLP, which is a solid junior league, so that was a great experience. But ultimately, I decided that I wanted to pursue the lacrosse route because with hockey, I mean, you got to take years off of high school and play juniors, and to play at the Division III level. And lacrosse, it's a lot easier, and I mean, it's helped me out so much with my lacrosse game, whether it's with ground balls and my shooting form. It's kind of unorthodox. I like to shoot underhand primarily, so being able to have that hockey experience has just helped me out so much as a lacrosse player, and I really recommend anyone just to play 2 sports growing up as a kid, or play as many as you can, just because you learn so much from every different sport when you ultimately decide on what sport you want to focus primarily on.
Yeah. Any other sports?
I just mainly played hockey and lacrosse. I mean, I'm not the greatest at basketball or soccer, but I like having fun with my friends. I play a little golf on the side too, but definitely something I'm not that great at, but it's just for fun, and I enjoy just playing with my friends and having a good time.
Yeah, so on to the business side of things. What are your career goals?
Yeah, so ultimately, I'm not totally sure on what I want to do next year with this extra year of eligibility. I'm still trying to figure it all out, but I eventually want to work in corporate finance. I want to do some sort of financial planning analysis or work in an investor relations role. I'm a finance major at Susquehanna, and I've had the opportunity to intern at Bristol Myers Squibb, which is one of the largest pharmaceutical manufacturing companies in the world. And I've gotten to work in their procurement division, so specifically working with manufacturing, which has been a great experience since it's not something I study at school. So I really just want to ultimately work at Bristol Myers Squibb in a corporate finance related role. So I've just been working as hard as I possibly can, whether it's networking and meeting people who work in those roles and learning more about it. So ultimately I just want to work in a corporate finance role, and working at Bristol Myers would be great.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, you interned at Bristol Myers Squibb.
Yeah.
Supplier, your official title was Supplier Risk Management and Procurement Finance Intern most recently this summer, and you're also a member of Susquehanna's Finance Club.
Yeah.
How have these experiences helped you gain the knowledge you need to have a successful corporate career?
Yeah, so it's been great. I mean, this is my 3rd summer, this past summer at Bristol Myers Squibb. I was able to work there after my freshman year, and I learned so much the past 3 summers. I've worked primarily on the supplier risk management side, working with third parties and overseeing contracting and making sure that we can really get the materials that we need to create our innovative medicines, which has been a great opportunity. And I've also had the opportunity this summer to work a lot with the procurement finance side of Bristol Myers Squibb. So I'm so grateful that my manager was able to send me off and help me work with one of the procurement finance folks, and I got to learn a lot about budgeting and per supplier, and I also got to learn about purchase price variance, which is something I learned about my managerial accounting class. So it was really nice to be able to tie in what I learned at Susquehanna and the Sigmund Weiss School of Business, also to my experience at Bristol Myers. Working in the finance club's been a great experience. I mean, it's great just being able to go on the Bloomberg terminals and just research different kinds of equities and fixed income products. I mean, I know I have my own personal investing portfolio, so it's nice just to monitor on the Bloomberg terminal and compete in different kinds of investment challenges.
All right, and you spent some time this summer coaching lacrosse, building blocks lacrosse in your home state of New Jersey. Is coaching lacrosse something you'd want to do sometime in the future after your playing career is over?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally sure yet. I had a great experience. I'm so grateful for the Susquehanna Alumni Network. One of them, a 2017 grad, Jimmer Harabedian, he was able to reach out to me, and he graduated 2017, played lacrosse here. He coaches at Building Blocks, and he was able to reach out to me, and he said he needed an assistant coach. So I helped coach the 2033 team, which is rising fourth graders, and it was a great experience. I mean, I love just how enthusiastic the kids are. They show up every day with a great attitude, ready to learn and get better. So I had a fantastic experience. I'm not totally sure if I want to do it in the future. I mean, it's definitely a lot with long summer days and being out there in the 90-degree sun all day. So we'll see. I mean, I loved my experience. It was great. So it's definitely something I want to consider in the future.
Yeah, if there's anything else you want for the camera while it's here.
Go Hawks, that's all I gotta say.
All right, well, in that case, that's everything I've got for you, Chris. Well, thanks for joining me here today. Fans, that was Susquehanna men's lacrosse attackman Chris Ciccarello. I'm your host, Anthony Hiller, signing off